Hey guys, this is Shads07 here, and I've had quite a lot of people asking me questions for my Q&A. Damn. Well, I will now answer all of the questions you have to ask me. So, thank you to all the people who sent me questions, and if you were too late asking me questions, you can still ask them here and I'll reply by comment. Also, whilst I'm answering your questions, I'll play some video game music in the background. Okay, so let's get started with the Q&A. I'll start off answering all the questions I got through video comments, then I'll move on to the ones I got from private messages. First questions come from Zookstar1000. Question 1. What do you think is the most underrated music genre out there? Hard to say really, because every music genre has its own set of fans, but in a way I think modern rock is kind of underrated, because nowadays it's always pop this and R&B that. Very few actual great bands are appreciated nowadays. Question 2. What are your most anticipated games of 2011 besides Sonic Generations? Lilac Wars, 3D. Question 3. Was there ever a video game or video game series you wanted to get into but you couldn't? Yes, RPGs. Try as I might, I just can't enjoy those types of games. I don't really like Pokemon, I don't really like Final Fantasy. I hated Ogre Battle, so RPGs really don't appeal to me. These next set of questions come from Parasky100. Question 1. What do you think of the Wii U? I'm not sure what to think of really. It's almost as if they've hybrided the Wii and the DS. So it looks kinda strange, but it could be an interesting concept if it works. Question 2. What is your opinion on the Pokemon series? Sorry to say, but I'm not really into Pokemon that much. Question 3. Who do you think is the worst person on YouTube, not counting Marietta Plumber? Joshua8428. That guy is on a slippery slope to becoming the next Chris Chan. Question 4. What do you feel is your best video you've ever made? Not sure really, because I don't really judge my videos as that, although I will say I was proud of the way my Sonic Unleashed vs Sonic Colors battle review turned out. So maybe that one. Question 5. What is your favourite drink? Coca-Cola. I could drink that all day. These next set of questions come from Sniper Toaster. Question 1. Do you enjoy making commentaries and such? At times. Sometimes it can be kind of fun to make them, but others it's kind of painful, especially when the video you're commenting on is just pure shit. But still, if I know that my videos are entertaining many people, then I know it's worth it. Question 2. What got you into video making? I'm not entirely sure about that one, but I know when I first discovered how to use emulators on computers and how to record footage, I thought, you know what, I can record some video game footage and put it on the internet. I think that was what got me into it. Question 3. Who annoys you the most out of all the people you have commentated on? That kind of depends how you define annoying, because I know most Shiznit was just obnoxiously annoying. But Game Dude was also very annoying as well, so one of those two. Question 4. Are you a fan of any anime? No, not really my cup of tea to be honest. Question 5. What would you say is your favourite Sonic game out of the ones you've played? Shadow the Hedgehog. But if you don't count that, then I'd go for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Both those games kick ass. These next questions come from Realm Wars. Question 1. If you were tortured to play either Sonic Genesis for the Game Boy Advance or Sonic Labyrinth, which would you rather play? Sonic Labyrinth, because as bad as that game was, it was at least playable. Question 2. If you could hack Super Smash Bros. Brawl, what characters would you make hacks of? I'd probably make a hack of Mega Man, because he'd be pretty awesome with all the power-ups and all that. I'd try not to make him overpowerful though. Question 3. What are your thoughts on the Sonic recolor community in general? No offence. None taken, and I'm going to say something rather controversial here. Just because somebody's made a recolor doesn't automatically mean they suck. I mean, a lot of people say that Joshua8428 is a shitty recolor, but let's think about this for a minute. If he didn't have his recolor in his videos, if he just used the original sprite without recoloring it, would it make his commentaries any better? Fuck no. He would still have the same bad points, be the same idiot that he is. The recolor had nothing to do with it. I don't think that all recolors are bad. There are some good ones. It's just that most recolors nowadays happen to be just, fur fags and idiot little kids who can't take criticism. That's just my thoughts though. I'm just seeing it from a non-biased point of view. Question 4. What do you think makes a good commentary? Well, for starters, I think if you actually have a point to it and make some good meaty arguments, that's the main strong points of a commentary. But it also is a good idea to maybe add a bit of humour here and there. Not saying you should completely go all out and try and be hilarious, but a bit of humour to go with your meaty arguments, I think that makes a good commentary. Question 5. Why do you like gay porn? Next. These next questions come from Costa Seri. Hope I pronounced that right. Question 1. What is your favourite TV show? South Park. It's 15 seasons and still going great. While a couple of the new episodes may not be up to par with the previous ones, it's a show I will always love. Question 2. Do you like ice hockey? Not really the biggest fan of it. I remember once going to an ice hockey rink and seeing the players practice, and it was fucking scary. The puck rocketing everywhere, going bang bang off the glass. That just scared me, that did. Question 3. Was there ever a game or movie you had high expectations for but turned out to be disappointing? Yes, as far as video games go, I was disappointed in Sonic and the Black Knight and Super Mario Sunshine. As for movies, Hulk 2003, Avatar, King Kong and Fantastic Four all had a lot going for it, but they turned out to be disappointing. Question 4. What is your favourite video games console? The Nintendo Wii, because that console has something for everyone. These next questions come from Dante7191. Question 1. What do you think of the Legend of Zelda series? Well, to be honest, it's not really a series I've got into, but still I give the series credit where credit's due. It is a pretty good series, I just am not very good at it. Question 2. Which do you prefer, the Nintendo Wii or the PS3, and why? I like the Wii better because of the library of games it has. It has more variety to it. The motion controls also kind of, spices up the games a bit and makes them more entertaining. Plus the Wii also has the Super Mario Galaxy games. Question 3. Have you ever played a Resident Evil game? No. I know a lot of people are saying I should play Resident Evil 4, but from what I heard, that game has a load of escort missions, and I hate escort missions. Question 4. What do you think is the worst game ever made? Well, I used to think Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for Game Boy Advance, but then I played Hong Kong 97, and holy shit, that game's awful. Question 5. Who do you think is the worst reviewer on the internet? Well, I would say Mario to Plumber, but seeing as he's just a failed troll, I'll go with Game Dude. These next questions come from GST Superworld 87. Question 1. What do you think of the rock band Queen? Ah yeah, their music's great. While they're not my favourite band out there, they're still a band I always like to listen to every now and again, and every time I do listen to their songs, I really enjoy them, so Queen are genuinely a good band. Question 2. Who is your favourite commentator out of the 4? Me, Transformers Fanco 328, Stephen the Master, or Realm Wars? I'm gonna go with Realm Wars. I remember once I did say Realm Wars commentaries were going downhill when he made that commentary on Colangley 1, but he was quickly able to redeem himself, and now I think his commentaries are as good as ever. Question 3. What stage would you like to be put in Sonic Generations? I know the level list has kind of already been leaked, but that's not to say that's the final level list, so it's not too late to add an ice level in their Sonic team. And while we're at it, a space level at the end is always welcome. Question 4. Which of these people would you unleash Tiny Tiger onto? Mario to Plumber, Seltzer and Friedberg, NC-17, or Joshua8428? Seltzerberg, so they don't make any more god-awful spoof movies. And 5. Which Mega Man game should Capcom work on next? Mega Man 11, and they should have some of my robots in them, like Thunder Man and Glacier Man, and even Cactus Man. That would be awesome. These next questions come from Nintendo Boy 17. Question 1. Who is your favourite action movie star? My personal favourite is Jackie Chan. I'm not entirely sure, but if I had to choose, I'd go for Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's got a tough, badass persona, he's awesome at action, and he's got very witty dialogue. He's just downright great. Question 2. Do you have a DS? Yes, I do. I have several good games for it. Question 3. What places around the world would you want to go? If I had to pick anywhere around the world I'd like to go to Australia, because England is kind of, on the other side of the world to Australia, so going there is kind of, a once-in-a-lifetime holiday. These next questions come from Darkspine Scott. Question 1. What is your favourite video game and why? I'm going to be really controversial here, but I'm going to go for Shadow the Hedgehog. Why? Because it was the first game to get me into the Sonic franchise. And any of you retro fags want to have a go at me for liking that game, please take that complaint and shove it up your ass. I can like whatever game I want. Question 2. What's your opinion on Suburban Night? Not entirely sure, to be honest. I saw a couple of episodes and thought it was pretty funny. Haven't seen that much of it though. Question 3. What's the worst movie you've seen, and likewise the best? The best? Now that is too tough a decision. There are loads of great movies I love, such as Spider-Man 2, Life of Brian, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Toy Story movies, Hot Fuzz, Tron Legacy, Scott Pilgrim, I could go on and on. And the worst movie I've ever seen, I'm going to give it to that piece of crap Home Alone 4. That shit was awful. These next questions come from Michael Dragon 800. Question 1. What do you think of the motion control gimmick in general? Well, I like it. I think it's, a fun and innovative new way to play games. Plus they make the games themselves feel more interactive, so that's why I like the Wii. Question 2. Which Super Mario Galaxy game do you think is better, the first one or the second one? I like the second one better for several reasons. 1. It does what all good sequels should do. Take the original game as a concept, fix the flaws, and add new gameplay elements to keep the formula familiar yet fresh. And it also is more challenging and has much better co-op play. Seriously, it's actually worth a damn in this one. Question 3. What do you think of Portal 2? Never played, don't have an opinion on it. Next question. Question 4. What do you think of Sonic Generations? Well, I played the demo as Classic Sonic, and all I can say, it looks fucking awesome. These next questions come from Mario vs Sonic 999. Question 1. If there's a Super Smash Bros. 4, which characters do you want to be playable? King K. Rool from Donkey Kong, Black Shadow from F-Zero GX, Crystal from Star Fox, Mega Man, and Little Mac. Question 2. What is your favourite food? There's lots of foods that I like, although I have a particular liking for Italian food, so I like pizza and pasta and stuff like that. That's probably my favourite food. Question 3. Have you heard of the MLP-FIM, which actually spread like a drug, especially outside the target audience? I've never heard of that. Question 4. Who do you prefer, Irate Gamer or Game Dude? Irate Gamer. Why? Because that guy at least tries to have a more original style to his videos, and he listens to criticism, whereas Game Dude does not, and he keeps revising his reviews. Yeah, he's still doing it. And 5. Why do you dislike Shadowstar 1224's recent videos? Just curious. Well, I did used to enjoy watching Shadowstar's videos, but some of the ones he did recently, like on Slap Happy Gamer and the Nostalgia Critic, they just, weren't necessary. And every time someone criticised him, he kept trying to cover up his own ass. I will say that his commentary he did on Some Call Me Johnny, that one was pretty good. I genuinely think he has it in him to be a good commentator. He just needs to listen to criticism that's given to him more and improve his arguments. Then he'll be pretty good. These next questions are from Rocket Echidna. Question 1. If you were the original person who made the meaning of life, what would that meaning be? For the love of God, don't make it 42. Too cheesy. Aw, I was gonna go for that. Okay, the meaning of life is... Next question. Question 2. How's the weather? It's pretty good though, although I gotta say, I hate the sunlight because, it gives me terrible hay fever. Question 3. What would you do if your clone was next to you? I'd probably get him to do all my dirty work for me, while I just sit on my ass playing video games. Question 4. May I have some milkshake? Sorry dude, don't have milkshake with me. 5. Is it okay if I wish the genie to ask me 3 more questions? I'm sorry, but you cannot do that. Why? Nobody said it better than a Razor Gin.
Hasn't Cheerio taught you by now that genies never grant any wishes because we're jerks?
There you go. These next questions come from the Biomorph 493. Question 1. When did you start doing commentaries? Well, that dates back to late 2009, where I made a rant defending Shadow the Hedgehog from a couple of idiot game reviewers. Then when Realm Wars had started, doing commentaries regularly, I thought I could maybe do some on bad game reviews, and then, I made more commentaries that progressively got better and better. Question 2. What country would you like to visit and why? Already answered that question earlier, so moving on. These next questions come from DynaKirby63. 1. Do you think Sega should make their own all-star fighting game so they won't bother the upcoming Super Smash Bros. 4, which was just announced at E3 a few days ago? Well, I think it would be good if Sega had a fighting game. They would have to rely on a lot of Sonic characters though, because, Sonic pretty much is Sega. Question 2. Did you like Mario? Well, there are some Mario games I like and some which I do not. But overall, I think Mario's a pretty good character, if a bit overrated. Question 3. Did you hate Conker's Bad Fur Day? Never played it. Looks hilarious though. Question 4. Can you make more countdowns instead of always commentaries? Well, to be honest, I was actually considering doing a break from commentaries for a while, and I have had ideas for more countdowns in the future, so your wish is about to be granted. Question 5. What's your thoughts on Quick Quack reviews? I don't know what to say about the guy. I know he does commentaries with a guy called the Commentary Noob, a character he made up for humour, and unfortunately a lot of people seem to be taking him seriously when he's not supposed to be. But the one thing I kind of didn't like about the guy was he seemed to have some sort of grudge against Josh Scorcher just because he said he didn't like Super Mario Galaxy 2. And that was a bit pathetic in my opinion. Overall, I've seen worse commentators. These next questions come from Katos TH. Question 1. Who is your favourite Sonic character? Do I really need to say it again? Question 2. Favourite game genre? Should be pretty obvious by now that I'm into the platforming game genre. Question 3. Which is worse, Sonic Labyrinth or Sonic 06? Sonic Labyrinth. Sonic 06 in my opinion was decent. Question 4. If you could improve on videos, how would you improve? Critique question. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I know some people have said that I'm a bit fanboyish over games like Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06. I don't really agree with them myself, but maybe I could try and sound less fanboyish towards Sonic games. Question 5. Who was the most frustrating boss you've ever faced in a video game? Lancelot Returns from Sonic and the Black Knight. That fight was nothing short of completely unfair. These next questions come from Oliver88R. Question 1. Do you like any other game franchise besides Sonic and Klonoa? Yes, most notably the Mega Man series. I also like Crash Bandicoot games before Crash of the Titans came out as well. Question 2. Were there any other games there that you wanted to try but never got the chance? Nights into Dreams, because I was never able to get a Saturn emulator to work on my computer, and I don't know anyone who owns a Sega Saturn, so I never really got to play that game. Question 3. Are you going to do any commentaries with anyone besides DV Darkness at all? Well, I was thinking of doing one with Seaster91, but that's still a consideration. Question 4. I remember seeing an old video of yours that you like Robot Wars. If that's true, what was your favourite robot besides the house robots? I always liked Firestorm, because he was sleek, quick, aggressive, and he toppled Mr. Psycho, the only one to do so. Next questions come from Wave3436. Question 1. What are your thoughts on Joshua8428? Well, I think he's a piss poor commentator, and he never listens to criticism that's given to him. I think his worst commentary though was the one on Nostalgia Critic. God, that was awful. Question 2. Which part of the Sonic fanbase do you hate more? The insane Sonic fans or the retarded Sonic fans? It's hard to really tell the difference between those, because some of the Sonic fans are like so insane that they're retarded, and some of the retarded fans are so retarded they're insane. So I hate them both, but I especially hate the nitpicky Sonic fans who just nitpick the new games for no reason at all. These next questions come from Inferno the Fox. Question 1. What's the easiest video game boss you've beaten? Bob the Goldfish from Earthworm Jim, because you just walk into him and you beat him. Question 2. Who inspired you to do video game reviews? Well, there were several video game reviews I liked, but the ones that inspired me to do video game reviews the way I do are GameKing53 and Nightwing01. Question 3, can I have a cookie? Sorry, don't have any cookies with me. I ate them all. I know, I'm a greedy bastard, aren't I? Question 4, who's your least favourite Sonic character? Go watch my top 10 most hated Sonic characters list to find out. Question 5, do you think there'll be a Mario and Sonic fighting game in the near future? Technically, Super Smash Bros. Brawl counts, but there might be. This next set of questions comes from SonicFan5200. Question 1. If there's any spriters on YouTube you would recommend people to shove their middle finger up their ass, who would they be? Jonathan the legendary Hedgehog, more like Jonathan the Asshog. Question 2. If you didn't use your fan character, who would you use to represent yourself? Shadow the Hedgehog. Good old predictable me. Question 3. Are there any games that you may have heard of but you would like to give a try? I'd quite like to try out Akami, that looks interesting. Question 4. Is there a game you've ever played where the graphics actually affected the game? Yes. Where's Waldo for the NES? I know graphics shouldn't make the game, but because the graphics were so limited, the whole game just looked ugly and it was too easy to find Waldo, so that actually affected the gameplay and made it too easy. Question 5. What is your most anticipated game from E3 besides Sonic Generations? Never actually caught E3, so I'll pass on that one. These next questions come from SpiderSonic91. Question 1. Do you plan on getting any Ratchet and Clank games? It's a consideration. I mean, I've already tried out the Jak and Daxter games, so maybe they're next. Question 2. Do you like Power Rangers? Not really. Question 3. What do you think would happen if there was a game called Sega vs Capcom? Bring it on, I say. Question 4. Have you ever played a game called WWF No Mercy for the N64? Can't say that I have, not really big on wrestling games. Question 5. Favourite breakfast cereal? I'd say Frosties, because they taste great. These next questions come from Too Funny Version 4. Question 1. Have you ever played Mortal Kombat 9? No, I haven't. Question 2. Have you heard of a video game series called Darkstalkers? Never heard of that. Question 3. What do you think of the Bomberman series? I think the games are pretty good, with one obvious exception. Question 4. Who is your favourite Robot Master in Mega Man 9? Tornado Man. He's just awesome. Question 5. Have you ever heard of a video game series called Bonk? Heard of it, but the game looks kinda average to tell you the truth. These next questions come from the Sick Mugen. Question 1. Is there a game that was a game you played that was a big letdown? If so, what game? Already answered that one. Question 2. What would you do, watch an old school Sonic fag or a modern Sonic fanboy? I'd probably watch the old school Sonic fag just to see how epically they fail at nitpicking the recent games. Question 3. What if somebody called Tom the Hedgehog a recolor? He may be a recolor, but he's a good recolor at that. There is such a thing. Question 4. If you had to change one of your old videos, what would that video be and why? Not sure really. I'd probably change my old playthroughs on Sonic games, because the commentary quality was terrible and so was the video quality. Question 5. Would you watch Mario to Plumber or listen to Justin Bieber? Pick your poison. Don't make me choose! However, Mario to Plumber has more videos and his mic quality is much worse, so I'd reluctantly pick Justin Bieber. Because while he gives me ear rape, Mario to Plumber would just destroy my ears with his terrible mic quality. These next questions come from Ceaster91. Question 1. Do you like Yu-Gi-Oh? Not really a big fan. Question 2. Who is your favourite video game reviewer? Example, Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic, Spill.com, Nightwing01, etc. Well, my favourite video game reviewer would have to be the Angry Video Game Nerd. Question 3. What do you prefer, elevators or escalators? I like elevators better, or lifts as they're called in England. Question 4. What is your favourite fan-made series? Example, fan-made shows by Dead Soldier Inc. Very few really come to mind apart from Klonoa Dream Bullet, and I enjoy that series. Probably because I voice act in it. Question 5. Have you seen any Broadway musicals like The Lion King, Wicked, Jersey Boys? Yep, I've seen a few Broadway musicals. Haven't seen those particular ones which you've mentioned though. These next questions come from Death Critic. Question 1. Are you a fan of UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship? Not really. Question 2. What is your favourite funny part from the Nostalgia Critic? Ooh, that's a tough one. He has many funny jokes. I like the jokes he made in his Casper review, they were pretty funny. Question 3. Do you like the new console that Nintendo is making? Well, I can say interesting at most. Question 4. What is your favourite Sailor Scout? Any Sailor Moon characters from any series? Sorry to say, but I never watched Sailor Moon. Question 5. What is your favourite video game of all time? Kinda already answered that one. These next questions come from the new Mop 12100. Question 1. How do you type with boxing gloves on? Use a pencil? Question 2. Do you like Pokemon? Already answered that one. These next questions come from Chaos Monkey 79. Question 1. What are your thoughts on E3 2011? Never went. Question 2. Who is the biggest douche on YouTube in your opinion? Ooh, that's a real hard one, but I'm going to have to go with Mario to Plumber, primarily because of what he said about Japan. Question 3. What is your favourite drink? Already answered that. Question 4. Do you like waffles? Yeah. And question 5. Family Guy or South Park? South Park for the win. These next questions come from Hedgehog Phantom 19. Question 1. If you could beat 3 people with a cricket bat, who would they be? Justin Bieber, Mario to Plumber, and probably Rebecca Black. Question 2. What franchises other than Sonic do you like? Here are some of the other franchises I like. Mega Man, Klonoa, Star Fox, F-Zero, the early Crash Bandicoot games, and some of the Mario games. Question 3. What games are you hoping to get in the near future? Sonic Generations. Question 4. Who are your favourite reviewers? I like Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic, WeViewer, Army21, Nightwing. There are many reviewers who I like. Don't have enough time to name them all. Question 5. Which is your favourite commentary that you've made? Ooh, that's a tough one, that is. I quite like my one of Pointless Revision, but I also think that my Angry Video Game Nerd commentary was funny as well. These next questions come from Pikachu X Sneasel64. Question 1. What is your opinion on survival horror games? I haven't really played that many, although I am really getting to enjoy the game Dead Nation for the PS3. Question 2. What is your opinion on fighting games? Well, the only ones I've really gotten into are Super Smash Bros. Games, but they're awesome. Question 3. What is the funniest game / movie you've ever played / watched? For games, there have been several games that I think are funny, like Crash to Insanity, Simpsons Hit and Run, Sonic Colors. As for the funniest movie, Life of Brian, no competition. Question 4. What in your opinion is the saddest moment in a game movie? As far as games go, very few sad moments really come to mind. I know one of them was the Gamma's ending in Sonic Adventure DX, that was pretty sad. And as for movie, well, Disney movies have always been guilty of having sad moments in. Question 5. Have you ever played any of the Versus Capcom games? No, I'm meaning to try out Marvel vs. Capcom 2 though. These next questions come from the Game Fan 1000. Question 1. Who is your favourite YouTuber? Yeah, I don't need to say that. Question 2. Besides Sonic, what is your favourite video game franchise? Mega Man. Question 3. If you could kill anyone in any way, who would it be? Well, I would want to kill Mario to Plumber, although I cannot think of a death brutal enough for him. Question 4. Around the parts where I live, some children as young as 5 are swearing. Do you? Sure, everybody fucking swears. Question 5. Ever come across this, and what do you think influences them? I think it's movies that have warped their fragile little minds. These next questions come from SP4Mew. Question 1. What is your opinion on Tubers93? Well, as a fellow commentator, I'm kinda inclined to dislike the guy. I mean, the guy's just an asshole. He thinks he's better than everyone else, gives himself a superiority complex, and he forces everyone to try and use Sony Vegas. Question 2. Which company would you like to see square off against Capcom in the next Capcom vs game? I think it'd be interesting to see Konami vs Capcom. That would be a pretty good crossover. Question 3. Have you ever played any of the Fire Emblem games? If not, would you ever be interested in playing any of them? No, I have a disliking for RPGs. Sorry about that. Question 4. Who would win in a fight between Samus Aran and Mega Man? Mega Man, because he can just, copy powers and use metal blades on Samus. Question 5. If there was anything in your past videos that you would like to change, what would it be and why? Kinda already answered that one.